It is 6:01 on May 5th, and I am Councilmember Johnson, and I will call this meeting of the Finance and Administration Committee to order. We will check the roll call. We've got Councilmember Holloway with us and Councilmember Washington. As I said
Sure.
myself, Councilmember Johnson. Yep. Oh, yeah. And we have the mayor, and we have our city attorney, and we have our finance director and IT director with us tonight. Pull that in closer. There we go. That's much better. Okay, next thing is approval of the agenda. I do have one thing to add, and I will add that to the end of the discussion as a new item number 8. Following the discussion of potential best land use. And this is a discussion of potential questions to candidates for the vacant council position 6. Is there any discussion of adding that to the agenda? Okay, there's no discussion about that, then we will.
I think it should be added to the agenda.
Yes,
Yes.
okay.
Okay.
Then we'll consider the agenda amended. I don't think that I had any other changes that I wanted to make at this time, but other council members, please. Yeah.
I'd like to make a motion for an executive order.
Executive order.
I'm sorry. An executive session. I can't talk and can't think. My head is still at Johnson & Johnson. I'm so sorry. It was a long day. I'd like to make a motion for an executive session for city council candidate applications to evaluate the qualifications of a candidate for appointment to elective office.
Okay. And is there any disagreement? Okay, then seeing no disagreement, at what time in the agenda would you like that to occur?
We can do it after number 4. So after the agenda bill?
Yeah. I'm sorry, can you say that one more time?
After the agenda bill, Chair?
Okay, so this would be after item number 4.
Correct.
Okay, so prior to, I guess, would executive session be like its own heading? I'm just curious with staff what the best way to do that is. Okay, so it'd be a new heading after agenda bills, an executive session with the new item number 5 with that justification as read in by Councilmember Washington.
Correct.
Okay. Staff need any clarification? Yes, Mayor.
We'll clean up the presentation later, but we understand it's item number 5. This is the new item number 5, and the other items from 5 down just renumber.
Okay, and the city attorney.
Sorry, thank you. For the record, I just want to make sure it's RCW 42.30.110 subsection 1H. I just want to make sure that was on there for the record.
Subsection 1H?
Yes.
Correct. Sorry, I'm remiss. I should have read that portion of it.
You're good. I just wanted to make sure it got out there.
I don't have a legal education.
There we go. Okay. Nothing else on that. Then is there are there any other changes to the agenda that the committee would like to make? Mayor.
Chair, if you'd be willing to let us give the flood update, which is a very brief thing, we might be able to release staff then. If we could do that right before your new item 5, your executive session, if that would be all right.
So this would essentially be flip 5 and 6 as they appear on screen.
Yeah, so you'd go from item 4, right. Then you'd go to the current item 6 that you see there, then you'd go to the new item that's just been added.
Got it. Okay, so it'd be AB 26-013, then flood event, then executive session.
If that would be okay.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I have no concerns.
Okay. Then make it so. Any other adjustments to the agenda? All right, seeing none, then we will approve the agenda as amended. Next item on the agenda is public comments. So if we have any members of the public that would like to make comment, we generally allow for 3 minutes. Just state your name and the city you live in, and then you could approach the podium. Okay, then seeing none, then we will move on to the next item, which is the minutes. We have two sets of minutes, which are dated April 7th and 2026 and dated April 21st, 2026. Are there any changes that the committee would like to make to the minutes?
The minutes are fine in my estimation.
Then we will adopt the minutes as presented. Okay, next thing is the approval of the warrants and claims, which I have not received any questions about them from other council members as yet, but committee, are there any questions about the claims report dated May 11th, 2026?
I have no questions.
Okay, then we can put those on consent.
Yeah, I think that's I have no concern
Okay,
with it.
then we'll put those on consent for the agenda on Monday. Next is the agenda bills. We only have one, which is AB 26-013, the Microsoft 365 software renewal. And I'm assuming IT director will lead us off on this.
Yeah, I just have a quick comment about the new pricing. This is Fletcher LaCroix, IT director. Sorry if I forget to do that every time. Yeah, so the last time I was here, we talked about it. I was saying it was the last year of that 3-year Microsoft agreement. This is the new 3-year agreement. So they raised the price 7% as the description says, and it's the same number of licensing. I just want to make clear it's the same licensing as last year. And I'm here to answer any questions.
I don't have any, but committee, yes. Councilmember Washington.
Thank you. So I'm sorry, is the ask for the 415, 436, or is it merely the expenditure, the 38, 113?
So that's just for the year 2026. The contract goes through 2026 and partially into 25. This analysis was done by finance, so I don't know. The original is, I believe, 65,000, the original ask. I believe she split it up between the biennium years of how to pay for it, and that's why you see that other number.
Okay.
That makes sense. It's a 1-year contract. It goes from June to June.
So yeah, we used to have a 3-year contract and now it's a 1-year contract.
We've always had yearly paid contracts. Microsoft for smaller organization does a 3-year price lock. So, and luckily we did it because they're talking about another 8% in August, which we won't have to pay. But yes, this analysis just talks about, I think she split up between 2 years, if I recall. I apologize, I don't have that answer for you, but I can go look at it. I can ask finance about it.
Okay.
Because I could ask Jana about it.
Councilman Washington.
Okay. So yeah, I see, so an initial contract of $60,970 for 2025 and $65,337 for 2026, with 38,113 of that amount to be paid during calendar year 2026.
So I think yes, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No. So has part of the 65,000 been paid and there's a lapse? Is that
I
the way
believe it's a
this?
budgeting thing because the contract goes into 2027. We do have to pay them now at the full amount.
The contract year goes from when to when?
It goes from June to June, or sorry, July to June.
July to June.
So July 1st to June 30th out of the 2026. And then
Remainder, so, still some interesting math. So I don't understand why the front loaded is 40 instead of 30 if it's 60K for that contract year, and it's 6 months is in 2026, you'd think it would be split in half. What is the overall cost, 3-year cost of the contract?
currently it's the 66,000 or 65,336.83, which is the quote I received
3 years?
That's
for 1 year. For 1 year.
60, what is?
There'll be that number.
A 3-year contract, what is the total value for the contract?
That is not how Microsoft does it. They say, they give you a price of 3 years, and then you just pay every year. Well, because the problem is you might order more licenses 1 year or less another year. So that amount is just a pricing contract. That's the price you pay for 3 years.
Okay, they give you a per seat. Okay.
Yeah, let me try and help. So what we're asking you for tonight is the authority to sign the 1-year contract. There's a 3-year term. We're not asking you to approve a 3-year contract. We're asking you to approve a 1-year contract of that amount. And then the budget explanation is telling you how that hits in the different budget years. But the amount we're asking for is just a single amount that we'll pay for the 1-year contract. And that amount is
It's on the quote.
38,000.
amount of 38,113. So that's what we're asking you to approve tonight. I know it gets a little complex because they're trying to be thorough and making sure you're aware that the overall contract goes 3 years. But until you approve any, first off, until they quote an amount and until we ask you for approval, nothing will get paid, nothing will happen. So the only thing we're asking now is a 1-year payment of that amount. And the reason you say, why is that even coming to us? It's because the contract includes a multi-year element instead of just signing a 1-year contract, in which case you guys would never have seen this. But they're trying to honor that your instructions are come to us if it's over 50,000 and if your contract has any multi-year feature to it. But in fact, all you're committing to, all the city is committing to is this one payment of 38,000.
So does that mean that if we wanted to continue in the future,
We'd
that
have to
would
come
be
back to you.
another one?
We would have to come back to you.
And is that an
there'd be
annual thing or is that every 3 years?
annual?
Okay.
Sorry, that 3 year is the price lock of each license. So Microsoft just carves it out. It's not an actual contract with, they're doing the contracts. Liftoff is doing the pricing at a 3-year for 3 years. And then we sign every year. And that's why I was here last year. And that's why I'll be here the next year.
So we are price locked for 3 years,
Yes.
but we have to do a yearly agreement.
Purchase. Yes.
You're
Okay.
price
Because-
blocked per seat,
Per seat.
Per
They're
seat.
charging
but the
you-
number of seats may change.
Yeah,
Right.
The 3-year contract quotes license costs, and often our term is color of license. So often they're color of license if you have the administrator license versus the license. or
Yes.
whatever. And they will quote you over the 3 years. Here will be the per seat cost for that license. He'll have to figure out how many licenses he wants of each one, and annually would come with us and say, 2 blue, 3 red, whatever, and here's my cost for this biennium of license.
That is correct.
Okay,
Excellent. Thank you.
I've played that game.
Anything
Okay.
else?
And this is, this is a contract renewal. It's not an ordinance.
I think it could
Is that
go
correct?
consent.
So this could go on consent.
I'm okay with consent. yeah.
I'm good with consent. Okay,
Sounds like.
Thank you.
excellent. Thank you. Then the next thing, if I'm remembering the order of our amended agenda, was to do the flood update and then the executive session. Okay, so then the next item is the flood update, which I would assume that would be Director Boutte.
We can talk later.
It's okay.
Sorry.
Got to send a request. So I can share my screen. Someone else is presenting right now. All right, so really, this is just very simple. There is no changes to the report, but we're just going to show you the slide anyway.
Well, I do appreciate
So
it.
there it is. It's been condensed since the last one into this slide, and so there hasn't been any update. We still have the deadline of May the 7th, in which we actually, maybe this is an update. We did submit paperwork to FEMA today as we speak, a couple of hours ago. So we do have that information into FEMA, seeking reimbursement for our flood damage from this past December.
Point being, we made the deadline.
Yes.
Thank you, Mayor.
Yeah, just remind you that I made the commitment to you that I would bring this to you every 2 weeks until this matter is resolved, just to make sure you had visibility on it.
This is very helpful for me to just be aware that we made the deadline. It's a good update. Any other questions about this from the committee? Yes, Councilmember Washington.
So, to, the director, of finance, so it looks like we're holding steady on that cost of 667 for the incurred costs for the actual flood.
Yeah, and we're still incurring expenditures and invoices, right? So some of that is an estimate, but
Okay.
as it comes in, we are finding ourselves, closer and closer arriving to that $667,000 total that we have there.
Thank you.
Mayor.
Yeah, you all may be interested in knowing, Director Boutte made it sound much more simple than it is. Submitting that to FEMA required him to first submit it through the state, get each and every item looked at and okayed, so that when it went to FEMA, they wouldn't bounce it back. There's a lot that goes into meeting those deadlines, and I want you to realize it's not just fill out a form and submit it by the deadline. There's a whole process that he has to manage to make sure that they get there.
I definitely appreciate that. Yeah, realize that our staff is working overtime these days. So, thank you. Other thoughts or questions? Okay, then with that, we will move on to, thank you, Director Boutte. We will move on to the next item, which is an executive session. Yes, Mayor.
Do you want that item to be presented at council or just included in the materials, and maybe the chair would mention its existence?
Yeah, I would just include in the materials.
I think that's a good idea.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thanks. Next item is an executive session, which is pursuant to RCW 42.30.110H to evaluate the qualifications of a candidate for appointment to elective office. Do I need to say the however part?
You're good.
Okay. All right. Those attending will be mayor, city attorney, three of us. And timing. I think
15, we'll start with 15.
okay. Start with 15 minutes.
So 6:35.
Okay, then it would finish at 6:35. And do we want to go upstairs?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. It is 6:36, and we are back in open session for the FNA Finance Administration Committee meeting for Tuesday, May 5th. And the next item on the agenda is the council retreat discussion. However, Mayor, did you have something that you wanted? Okay. Then the next item is the council retreat discussion. And for that, I wanted to talk a little bit about the agenda and try to lock that down, at least as a concept that, there are a couple of specifics like what order that the presentations may be from the staff that I don't think necessarily need to be nitpicked at that level. Like, does, IT come before CD? They're all going to get to us. So on that, I think that the first item should be a general introduction that's a little bit of a high level of where the budget's at. That would be done by probably a combination of the mayor and our finance director. This is for Thursday night, by the way. And then following that, I believe there would be somewhere around 8 or so department presentations, each one lasting somewhere around half an hour. Some may be a little bit longer. And we try to get through as many of those as we can on Thursday night so that we are prepped up for Saturday to spend most of the day having discussion amongst the council about our various wants and desires and dreams for what the budget can be, and mostly about how we're going to fit a square peg into a round hole. And I think that there are some options on the table that we can look at and that we can discuss. But I believe that staff for some of those are going to need direction that's the way the council wants to go, and we'll need it in relatively short order in order to make them happen. So essentially try to get through as many of those departments as we can on Thursday night, which is our first evening of the retreat. And then on Saturday, finish those, followed by kind of some wrap up by mayor and administration, followed by lengthy discussion by council of perhaps some level of setting priorities of let's make sure that we hit these. Here's the necessary list. Here's kind of the wish list, and then kind of discussion around our options and which options we're interested in as a council and which ones perhaps we want to start taking off the table. And that will, I think, set the administration up for success going into the latter half of the year, bringing us a budget proposal that will be somewhat palatable to the council based on that feedback from the retreat. So that's my pitch. Thoughts, committee. Councilmember Washington?
Just to kind of repeat for Thursday and kind of walk me through Saturday again. So Thursday, we would have a state of the budget, kind of a
essentially
general, general conversation around that. And then department reviews. So correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Mayor, 5 departments?
Mayor.
So there's a total of 8 departmental presentations. And just to give you a sense, so my understanding of how the budget process should work, and I know we haven't necessarily always done it this way in Snoqualmie, but it's my understanding that you would hear directly from the department directors what their requests are. There are therefore things that they're going to put in their presentation that will not be in the mayor's proposed budget that comes to you later in the year. But it's my belief that the requirements of the process are that you see their requests without me filtering those. And then later I can come and say, well, here's the ones I propose, but you will have knowledge of what they asked for and what their point of view was. And that sort of lets you inform what you think of the budget that I proposed to you. But I think to Mayor Pro Tem's point, I think the point would be if you can give guidance now, then that's pretty well where the mayor's proposed budget is going to go. And that would sort of let all of staff, let all of us start working towards things that you guys are kind of aligned to. There's some big decisions. You want us to get a smaller? Do you want to stay about the same? Do you want to fill some holes? So these are big policy level decisions that you need to make sort of to guide us. So they're going to give you in their presentations, not at a detail level. This isn't, it's a half an hour per department. So it's pretty high level stuff. But it'll let you tune into kind of what the budget overall looks like and why. And to have some interaction with those department heads about the main things, the primary things that they would be asking for, and let you have some back and forth to understand, well, why are you asking that? And what would be the implications of yes or no, or some other options? Not down at you'll go into much more detail during your budget process, but this is to let you sort of big picture set guidance on that. And there are some big questions facing you. So we need your general guidance because this can go very different directions depending on which way you send us. And so there's a lot of meat here. And I would just tell you, I don't think that you're going to have a fun conversation on Saturday trying to sort of wade through that and reach some consensus as to where you want this all to go. These are not easy little decisions. Take a little frosting off here and, add a little thing over here. This is fundamental stuff, big, like how are we going to make this budget work?
Yeah. What I kind of envision is that administration staff are going to kind of give us what the menu is. And it's going to say, you've got the burger, it's got tomato, it's got lettuce. If you want to know what kind of tomato it is, we'll deal with that later. But do you even want tomato on this thing? do you even want a burger? I don't know. So it's kind of like at that level is what I'm envisioning. And when the mayor comes to us with the recommended, here are the things I think you should order off the menu, that will have been with our guidance and also whose wallet we're going to be taking the money out to pay.
Just wanna make-
Real, okay, Mayor, and then Councilmember Holloway.
Yeah, just to make sure I answered Councilmember Washington's question. I think that the way this would lay out, so you got, say, 4 hours on Thursday. I think realistically, say an hour of that with some overview, kind of lead in type things. And then I think maybe you get through 3 to 4, probably 3, but 3 to 4 department presentations. So you get close to halfway. Then you come in Saturday and probably the first half of your day is getting through the remaining department discussions and then kind of pulling that all back together again for about an hour. And then I think the remainder is you kind of hashing out where you, as you know, where's your consensus on where you want us to go.
Councilmember Holloway.
To help me, because I don't understand in the bottoms approach. I need to talk food, water, shelter, and then movies on Saturday night. So how do the department heads get advised of, given what your budget was last year, this is your budget next year? Tell us what you can do with that, what you're unable to do with that, and what you might like to do in addition. Otherwise, from the department head without that guidance of affordability, it's everything gets thrown up of, oh, I want movies on Saturday night and Sunday night with popcorn. So, I mean, how do we get that affordability into part of the conversation you're talking about?
Mayor.
Just the way you said. In fact, if I could just, I'm going to have them pull a tape of what you just said, because it's word for word what I've been saying in the guide. So
with butter.
So we're going to put together exactly the analysis the way you said. Here's where we were. Here's what's going to change. Some of that might be inflation. Some of that might be staff level changes. Some of that might be other kinds of changes where they need to spend or propose to spend money, or where they think they can save money. There's at least one department that's going to tell you, hey, we used to be here and we think we can be lower than that. And they'll tell you where. Big picture. They're not going to tell you about every $5,000, but big picture. So it's exactly the way we're trying to lay this out. And then attached to that, discussions about, okay, if we don't have this level, then here's the things that we think we won't be able to do. And if we're asking for something more, here's why. Here's the things that we think we're not doing that we think we need that in order to do, so that you'd be able to sort of assess, do we think we want those things? Do we think we want to fund those things? How important do we think those are? So that's exactly how we're going to lay it out to try and help you answer exactly the questions the way you just asked them.
Then for the Saturday, it seems like we have an 8-hour schedule blocked off for that day. We probably wouldn't get through all the departments on Thursday, it sounds like,
No.
right? Yeah, so but there's probably gonna be some Q&A, I would assume.
Yeah, the intention
That's
is.
your intent, yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, Mayor.
Yeah, the intention is that when you hear from the directors, they're going to have a presentation they'll walk you through, and they'll take your Q&A, and as long as you want. And so then, we'll just accordion the rest of the schedule out based on where you spend the time. But I think you're far more likely to spend more than 30 minutes a department than you are less than 30 minutes a department.
Then just real quick, then what I'm envisioning then in my head is it will probably be closer to finishing the department reports, probably closer to lunchtime. Remember, it's not just us passively receiving information. This is a bit of back and forth during that entire time. Somewhere around lunchtime-ish on Saturday, and then have a solid few hours there in the afternoon for us to have our discussion and deliberations. Councilmember Washington.
Yeah. No, I'm just, and this question's for Mr. Mayor. So obviously each department's going to have what's important to them, various initiatives, things they're working on. And then there's administration and what administration's driving. Is that input kind of given before and included in that, or then we'll have a separate discussion of kind of, top level initiatives pulled by administration? Does that make sense?
Mayor.
Yeah, I think it does.
Okay.
So let me be clear. There are some things that department directors will bring up that I do not support. They don't know that I don't support those. I have not told them that.
Mhm.
What I've been very clear is if you think it's something, you're the professional, right? Whatever department you're in, you're the professional in that department. I am not. So you need to bring your professional advice to the council. So there's no, to be honest, they don't even know which things I don't agree with. So the one thing I have done is if there's anything that I think needs to be there, I've asked them to put that in. And then what I've said is if there's anything I'm asking you to put in that you don't want to speak to, that's fine. Then I'll speak to it during that part of your presentation. But to my knowledge, there's nothing I've asked them to put in that they are not willing to champion themselves. So it was, me saying, hey, is X in there? And they looked at me like, well, of course X is in there. So, but yeah, so I think, let me see if I understood your question completely. So then, yeah, what does it all add up to then?
Right.
Is sort of that hour. I'm saying after they're done, I'm saying there's probably about an hour of trying to say, okay, here's where that adds up. Now, in terms of where I'm thinking for the mayor's present, because I have to present
Mhm.
a proposed budget to you eventually as we get out late in the summer.
Mhm.
I'll just share with you at that point the things I'm maybe not supportive of or have questions around. But that's after they've all presented.
Okay.
So I'll give you that input, but really, that's just rough thinking.
Mhm.
So that you know where my thinking is. But really, then I'll be wanting to listen to your guidance where the sense of the council is, and that's the direction we should go. There's no point in my bringing you a budget that you're not going to agree with. Let's just get that resolved and bring you a budget that, we're just fine tuning because maybe the council isn't, so yes, there'll be that. Hopefully that made sense.
No,
Things real quick that,
I just want to
right
make
here.
quick, I just want to make a quick comment.
Okay,
to
go
what
ahead,
the mayor-
go ahead.
yeah. So that makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense. I tracked everything on that, Mr. Mayor. So then at that point, when we're having that discussion, let's just call it late summer, if there was something that we saw that maybe it's not a pull through for administration, at that point, we could have that conversation and say, well, wait a minute, Mr. Mayor, we saw XYZ that we really liked. Where is that? And that's kind of the broader conversation we'd have at that point.
Right. That's what I was going to say. So
Okay.
yes, Mayor.
Yeah, that's exactly
Okay.
what I'm trying to enable here, amongst other things, is that you would have knowledge of those things and therefore could bring them up. Hey, wait a minute, what happened to this thing I liked? And it might be that one council member likes a thing and the other council members haven't really thought about it. So if it doesn't show up, the council members say, hey, well, what about this thing? And then you guys can dig in as you do during your budget process, but you'll be aware of them because nothing's being filtered.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, and I can think of 1,000,001 things that I would love to do that we can't afford. So, but it's good to get them out there so that the administration's aware, hey, what about, 2 years from now? Maybe we'll be in a spot where we can start pulling some of these things in. Because council can have priorities as well that that staff isn't aware of. Yes, Mayor.
Yeah, that's the last point. The point that you just made is the point I wanted to bring up. Is this is also a chance for you as you hear those departmental presentations. If there's something that's on your mind that you don't hear in that presentation, you're able to bring that directly up with the director and say, no, why didn't you include this, or what's your thinking around that topic? And you can get their direct answers to those questions.
Thank you.
Okay, other thoughts on the council retreat discussion and the agenda? My intent is that that this committee would make it so, and that's the agenda. Yes, Councilmember Washington.
Selfish question. Will there be food there?
Mayor.
For everyone except Councilmember Washington. there will
Okay.
be.
I do need a diet.
Yeah, we're planning a dinner on the Thursday night and then a breakfast and lunch on the Saturday.
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you.
Then any other thoughts on this? All right.
I want more, but there's not time. So, yeah.
You want more things on the agenda?
They eventually get back to a conversation on goals and objectives,
Mhm.
council goals, objectives, but there is not.
No, we really,
That we'll deal with that later.
yeah, we gotta get on the budget here. It's a thing. Okay, then if there's nothing else on the council retreat discussion, then we will move on to the next item, which is the item number 7 on the agenda as on screen, the discussion of potential best land use in unincorporated urban growth area. For myself, the main thing that I'm interested in is starting to look ahead to kind of that next step in the permitting process where there would be an opportunity for this like 14-day window, I think it is, for the public and for the city to have a response of some sort. And I'm not sure where exactly we are in the drafting process of a response. But I think that should be a relatively high priority if that is something that's going to be occurring in relatively short order, given the schedule that the administration published on the website. So I don't know if anyone wants to comment on that or if there's other comments related to this land use item right now. Councilmember Washington?
Nothing for me right now. More to follow, just nothing at this point.
Anything else, Mayor? Councilmember Holloway?
Well, I'm just,
We'll give you a second.
do we have it? What has been published on the website so far? Just to
Do we?
keep the discussion.
If that's something we could pull up.
And based to your question, I'm looking, is the timeline on there and does it help answer some of the questions that were just briefed?
Yes, at snoqualmiewa.gov/m/newsflash/home/detail/1819. There is a website. Mayor, it looks like you had something to say.
Well, I don't know everything that's on the website. If you want to talk about the timeline, I can answer questions about that.
Mayor, do you happen to know if that timeline that we discussed at our last special session is up on the website?
It is, yes.
Okay.
And it's,
I'm sure it is, and I'm just looking at the wrong spot.
yeah, the reference you gave did not sound like the right reference.
Okay, so that was.
Okay, so
Those
it's
feelings.
still on there in the matrix form. So anticipated permitting was April 27th. There's now 28 days under which county can do through determination of completeness. That could, if they decide incomplete, there'll be a do-over and that could extend out. After that, so I mean, the short flow is within 28 days from the 27th. I'm not gonna do the math, others can do the math, but shortly thereafter, we need to be prepared with a letter for submittal to King County of concerns and any facts and data we can throw against it. So I assume our attorney team is working that up as we speak. Do we have an expected time when that might be available ahead of that 28 days plus 14, so you're into 32 days. We got a month, a little bit.
Mayor.
We are going to we are working on everything we can possibly have ready in as much depth as we possibly can, with as much supporting consultant advice by that date. And we will be, I believe we'll be continuing to revise that right up to the date that we file it. And let's see, what else did I want to tell you? The timeline is changing almost every day for a whole bunch of reasons. We've had 3 meetings, I think, in the last 5 business days with King County just about the timeline. There's this sort of notion that there are all these possible paths that timeline can go. And so the challenge here is to not get everyone just lost in all the, well, it might be this and it might be that, and here's 27 possibilities that just your eyes glaze over, but to really try and make sure that we're not oversimplifying, but at the same time try to get the main dates that are likely to be the dates. Some of the things that are going on, the dates are, we're having to estimate the dates. You alluded to some of them in your discussion earlier. If questions get asked back and then there's a resubmission as a result, new timeline. There's questions about, so even the first submission date, they submitted after 5 p.m., which means that the next day is the date that starts the clock. So, you know, the dates keep moving. So there's a lot of nuance in there. And as we, as that develops, we update the timeline to try and give our best view of what is likely to happen. And in particular, our best view of the dates, our best view, not best view, our best view of the dates when residents would want to submit things and when we intend to submit things.
Yeah. And just fixing that hyperlink, snoqualmie.gov/m/newsflash/home/details/1835. That's the one that takes you to the timeline. Councilmember Washington.
Yeah, no, absolutely, Mr. Mayor. And I just wanted to kind of, the way I understand it, please correct me if I'm wrong, but it also depends, and you kind of alluded to this, it also depends on what the proposal, so there's a permitting process, but what the proposal they submitted looks like, which we don't know that yet, but depending on what's been submitted in that proposal, it triggers different things in the permitting process. To your point, questions get answered. Okay, we move to the next step. Okay, questions don't get completely answered. Okay, here's another item that has to be done. Is that correct?
Mayor.
Yes, and they it's their submission, as I understand it. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a land use person. I'm an accountant. So this is my best understanding from the team. Is that what was submitted? I don't want to get into things I don't fully understand. There's this notion of segmentation. Hey, if you're trying to do this much, would it be normal to submit that whole thing, or would it be normal to submit something? Because there's a lot, you can't sort of divide something up to avoid taking on issues that you're going to have to take on. So I don't fully understand how all that works, but I will say the understanding I have is that there's a submission for something which I understand to be a clear and grade permit, but there's been an extensive additional amount of things submitted that are far beyond what you would need, that really are what you would need to submit if you were doing something beyond. And so as of the last update I received, we had not yet seen everything on the King County website. However, the applicant had published what appears to be much more than we can see yet on the King County website, on their own website. We're proceeding on the assumption that that's all of that will be filed, and we're working against that while still checking back to see what in fact ultimately is filed with the county. So, but we didn't want to wait. If we think we know what the information is, let's get to work on that, was kind of my instruction. So that's what the team's doing. And we'll adjust if somehow things are a little different in what's ultimately filed, we'll see that and we'll adjust to that.
Councilmember Washington.
Yeah, just a follow-up comment that what I hear you saying and the way I understand the process, it's a very fluid process. So it's going to be changing all the time as we get more information around the proposal that was submitted.
That's right. And as King County's permitting department does different things, that will cause other, cause the timeline to be understood differently. Different things will have been triggered, so to speak, or will be, so therefore you have to calibrate off of that as each of those things happen. So we keep updating the timeline to try and reflect that as best our understanding is when we learn new things. And based on this ongoing discussion with the permitting division of, hey, what are you seen as significant things at this point? So to make sure not just our own experts, but what are they telling us that they're focused on that might be triggering timelines or triggering things to happen. So we'll just keep doing all of that.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
So yes,
Councilmember Holloway.
back to my prior point though, if you assume 4/28 as the submittal date, and you assume 28 days for review, that means the comment period opens up on 5/22. We should have our material substantially put together and ready by that date. I'd hate to come to it and not. I understand, let's polish it as we go through, but the majority of it should be in place by 5/22 to make sure that we can hit whatever timeline they throw. So it's just not a lot of time, guys. I'm really worried.
Yeah. And we should also perhaps consider having additional special sessions to review those kinds of materials as they come from the administration as we approach that time / are in that window. So that something doesn't get missed because we didn't have a meeting, because we waited until a council meeting. We waited until, well, actually we wouldn't do it at a committee meeting anyway. We didn't have a council meeting. So yeah, that's something that we as a council will have to consider. And no,
Never takes.
okay. Any other thoughts from committee or mayor at this time? Okay. Then if there's nothing else for now, then that will move us into the next discussion, which will be about potential questions to candidates for the vacant council position 6. Prior to this meeting, I did send an email to my fellow committee members and mayor and city attorney with some potential questions that were compiled by staff. These have not been vetted by me and whittled down based on that. Is there a way to get that up on screen?
Sure.
Yes, Councilmember Washington.
I'm sorry, you said they were vetted by you?
No, I did not read.
Oh, okay.
So this is
Okay.
just,
Not
yeah.
promote, I would need Jimmy to, if he promotes me, I can put it up.
So
I will have opinions on
Yeah.
them, but yeah.
so just to kind of start things off, there are.
While they're doing that, yeah, Councilmember Washington, go
Oh,
ahead.
sorry. Thank you. Sorry.
Yeah.
It's getting late in the evening. Thank you. Time allotted is 15 minutes per candidate. Is that correct? Okay.
I
So
believe that's the schedule, yeah.
then, I mean, if it's 15 minutes per candidate, what are we allowing for? Maybe, I mean, I'm assuming each response, we're going to limit to, is it 3 minutes?
That's for us to figure out.
Okay.
I
Okay.
think-
So yeah, I mean, if it's 15 minutes and we're going to limit, I'm just, easy math, 3-minute responses, that's 5 questions.
Right. And that's if we were perfect, which we're
Right.
not going to be. So I think that we should probably plan on it being more like 4 questions.
Well, I would just, okay,
So
I
that you
just,
have that little bit of slop. Councilmember Washington.
perfect.
Perfect. Thank you.
I think city attorney had a
Oh,
point to make.
I was just gonna throw out an idea because I've seen this done at various cities. One way I've seen some cities do it is you have the list of questions and you rack and stack like which ones you really want to make sure you get to, you have it at the top. And then the clerk just sets a 15-minute timer, and wherever you end up when the 15-minute timer goes off is when you when that candidate is done. That makes it a little simpler than resetting the clock for each question.
Councilmember Washington.
Yeah, the only challenge I have to that is, yeah, just is it equitable in the sense that each candidate is getting the same question? You know what I mean? So
Uh,
that would be the only, pushback, if there is any, to that. It's just, okay, but maybe some answer questions a lot quicker and they get through more questions, right? And some take longer and they get through less questions. I mean,
I know, but having sat
Hallway.
here for a while, getting to the point quickly,
Okay.
be a plus in my category for
Okay,
future
okay.
council person.
Okay, just.
Councilmember Washington.
Absolutely. I agree with Councilmember Holloway. I just, and I don't get it right all the time, but I'm, in sales and marketing pretty much since I was 24 years old. I'm 48. I've done this for a living and I don't always get it right. So, well, someone kind of fresh coming into this, how skilled are they to really kind of, know the time to get through everything? I totally agree with you. I completely agree with you. It's going to be a long night. If
Yeah.
they don't.
It's going to be a long night.
But again, just kind of looking at that piece that, just trying to be as equitable in the process as we can, right? What's kind of the best of both worlds. And I'll just kick that back to the committee members.
I think that I can see the pluses and minuses to both sides. And I think that if my memory serves, the last couple of times we did this, I was here for, I think that we did do the time limit to get to that equity piece of making sure that everyone has the opportunity to answer to the best of their ability to all of the same questions. And it created some uniformity.
Mm-hmm.
I might lean that way, but not super strongly in that I also hear the other argument of, well, not that they want to be so short in their answer that they didn't answer the question, right? But some people will get through more than others, and perhaps that's something they would show. Or there's kind of the flip side. Sometimes is 2 minutes really enough to truly answer the question? Maybe to give a good answer, maybe it does take a little bit more. So
Okay.
I could kind of see it going the other way as well, that for some questions it'd be nice if they went a little bit longer, potentially. Councilmember Washington.
Yeah, just kind of a, strike down the middle, happy medium. 4 questions, 3 minutes each.
I think that would be my slight preference.
Okay.
Councilmember Holloway, if you feel strongly, I can be swayed.
Well, I'm ready to talk about what 4 questions.
Okay.
Okay,
All right.
he's already
me too.
there. All right.
Because I have some reordering and some preferences as well. Just if you don't mind, I just wanted to list off just a couple of things. Like first, I think that we should start off with the second set of questions. Number 1, why do you want to serve on the city council?
I know I raised that concern. I'm just having looked
Councilman
at
Holloway.
having looked at the packet.
Yeah.
I mean, do we feel that they answered that question in their submittal to begin with?
If you're asking me.
Yeah.
So I do think that there's a difference in how someone writes things out versus how they're speaking off the cuff. And the fact is that one of the things that we do here on council is you got to have answers ready to go. And that would be a way of assessing not necessarily the exact content of what they said, but how's their delivery.
Okay, so excuse me, are you proposing switching the number ones?
Essentially,
Okay, and they're relatively close. I'm neutral.
So
Okay with it.
I just want to make sure I'm understanding what you're saying, Councilman Holloway. So are we switching the first question, what is the most valuable aspect of Snoqualmie? Switching that with, why do you want to serve on the city council?
yeah.
So that would effectively be the number
That'd be
one.
the
Why do
number
you want to? Okay.
Yeah.
No disagreement there.
Okay. Then go ahead, Councilmember Holloway. I've got others, but go ahead.
I'd like to swap out number 3 from the top list and bring in 3 and 4 from the bottom
Yeah,
list.
agree with that. I agree with that.
Yep. Yeah, I think did you attend Citizens Academy? I'm pretty sure that was in
Yeah.
the materials as it was, and there's
Right.
less to speak to about
I
it.
don't want to like focus
Right.
strictly on that. I mean, if you served in other commissions or everything, it's just as valuable as Citizens Academy. So I don't want to outweigh Citizens Academy. It's important, but
Yeah. And I'd be fine with just striking the question about Citizens Academy, because I think there are other things to talk about service and skills where they could speak to that without that question. Councilmember Washington.
Okay, so you two had your say. I would request respectfully if I always like the practical question, right? Because I think this is very comprehensive, that we get a good look at a person's their walk of life, their experience, they get to showcase their talents, their skill sets, kind of bring everything the culmination and talk about why they were interested in community service. So I like question number 2 to kind of round it out.
are you making the list 5 now? Or are you going to you want to
Oh, no.
propose bump something else out?
So I'm sorry. So I like number 2 on the below list. Yeah, to
What experience?
substitute number 2 up top. So
Oh,
we would get rid
Swap
of.
the twos?
Yeah, swap the twos. Thank you. Yeah, it's getting
Okay.
late. Thank you. Swap the twos, please.
Then we did strike the other
I'm
number
okay with
one.
the
Yes,
3
we
and
did.
4 coming up.
Okay, good.
All right,
Okay.
they balance.
You like the 2 skill sets.
I
Oh, I see. I would actually strike that number, that's highlighted.
Okay.
Personally, I would want to strike that one. What is the most valuable aspect of Snoqualmie? Because I think that we've got the why do you
Oh,
want to
yeah.
serve
Right.
here.
Yeah, we're
Swap
striking
the
that one.
one.
Yeah, swap the ones
we're now saying
Okay.
swap the twos
Yep.
and then
and
strike the
add
3
bring 3 and 4 up from the bottom.
and strike 3.
So I believe that we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and
Yeah.
that is,
And strike 3
And strike 3, the academy one.
up top.
Yeah.
So,
go ahead.
sorry, I just want to review to make sure I'm capturing. So number 1 is the why do you want to serve on city council?
Yep.
Number 2 is the experience, talents, or skills.
Mm-hmm.
Number 3 would be the regional issues. And number 4 would be the particular local issue question.
Mhm.
We good?
Yep.
Right.
Correct.
All right.
Yes. I'm just
Okay.
digesting.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've kind of got that level. Was there anything else we wanted to add as another question? Anything else we want to take off?
I
We can
think
wordsmith in a second, but just big picture.
Are you crazy?
yeah, I'm good almost the way the words are.
Okay.
And I like the idea of 4 questions times 3 minutes. That's 12 minutes is my math right there. That sounds like 12 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would suggest we take just 1 second here to just read through them to see if
Okay.
there's any wording they want to change.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Pull out the telescope.
Talents, what experience talents. Instead of
Councilmember Washington.
question number 4, instead of distributed, I would say broadly focused. Are your interests more broadly focused? I mean, I don't know. Feedback.
Actually, I would wonder if we could just say, or are your interests more broad?
Nothing wrong with
Okay,
Okay, does that work?
yeah, I'm not gonna argue, but I don't think it changes the intent of the question.
Other thoughts?
I'm good.
Okay. I don't think I have anything else either.
Right, yeah, oh, looks good.
Okay, just any thoughts from administration, than what they wanted to share? Okay. All right, then, that closes off the discussion on the, questions for, our applicants. What's that? And that takes us to the, review of the draft city council agenda dated May 11th, 2026. I'll open that up so we can scroll through that. And this will be a party. All right. Mayor, yes.
If we could add to that agenda 3 proclamations.
Okay.
National Emergency Services Week, National Police Week, and Affordable Housing Week.
Okay. I see that we do not have a roundtable for once. Is that still the case as the intent from the administration?
It's up to you.
Okay, just wonder if you want anything. All right,
Look,
city attorney,
if I could just,
yeah, mayor.
we're working full speed on this.
Yeah.
So if you guys want to give additional information or receive information, that's your call. That I don't have questions for you. We're working full speed against what we've all talked about, and but so it's really so when I say I'm not asking for it, it's because I don't have anything to ask you.
Right.
Mhm.
But if you want something, then that's your call. We'll of course support that.
I don't want us to get lost.
Yeah.
So we
Yeah.
Touch base, see where things are, just in case something comes up during the week.
Yeah, mayor.
I can't get through a day without something coming up.
Yeah.
Isn't
On
it?
this, I mean, forget other stuff.
Yeah.
I would tell you if I would recommend you do an hour. It's just, there's so much that I think you'd be squeezing yourself and you just end up frustrated.
Okay,
So,
that I would agree.
Just-
Councilmember Washington.
just clarification, are we thinking a roundtable or an executive session? Which one? All of the above.
Yeah, mayor.
You would want a roundtable in which you had an
Executive session. Okay, okay. So-
That's just technically how
Right,
your
right,
rules of, your
right.
council rules of
Right.
procedure are set up.
But yeah,
I think that'd be a good idea. Councilmember Washington.
yeah, I was just wondering, is it going to be an open session or a executive session? But executive session, roundtable, and an executive session within the roundtable. Okay.
Yeah, mayor.
Yeah, the city's legal advice cannot be given publicly.
Okay, just
Yeah.
want to make sure. Okay.
And also, later on in the evening, there is the, open session section about, the land use. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you.
okay. Then, that would be added to the agenda starting at 6 o'clock. Next thing would be the call to order and the roll call, as always, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance and the agenda approval.
So, sorry, could you just
Yes,
hold for a
Mayor.
minute? No problem.
Great, thank you.
Just to be clear.
Yes,
Did you decide you wanted a roundtable at 6?
yes.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yep. Executive session is the only thing. And then I assume that's okay for the purposes of tonight, if that gets identified as the proper RCW.
Yeah, we'll
if I
take
say
care of
it
that for
right.
you.
Yeah. Okay. Next thing is the public hearings, presentations, proclamations, and appointments. We have no public hearings. Appointments, we have city council position number 6. It is possible that we could take action tomorrow night and that we would make our decision. It is also possible that we would not. So if we do not have a decision made tomorrow night, then I would assume that we would take that up perhaps under the have further discussion in executive session at the end of the meeting, and then potential action following that. Councilmember Washington.
Yeah, and this question is for Mayor Pro Temp as well as Mr. Mayor. So my understanding is we would make a decision tomorrow night, and then on the 11th, the council meeting, we would do a swearing in.
That is not, my understanding is that is not required, that we could make the decision tomorrow night, that we don't have to. Mayor?
What you just said is correct. You can make a decision tomorrow night. You can make a decision at some later date of your choosing. Except that there is a 90-day clock running, but that's still quite a ways out. Regardless of whether you made a decision this week or not until this date, if you made a decision by that point, you would probably want at least a ceremonial swearing in at this council meeting. You wouldn't, obviously, if you had not yet made a decision.
And Councilmember Washington?
Yeah, I think the mayor hit my point is that, so if we don't make a decision tomorrow night, we can't seat at the next council meeting because, I mean, we'd make the decision there, but that's effectively not enough time to do the ceremonial swearing in.
Mayor?
We can swear them in 10 seconds after you make your decision. So at any point where you make your decision, you can seat them. You may then want to do a ceremonial swearing in later.
Okay.
Right.
But you can seat them.
Okay.
If you wish, immediately upon taking your vote.
Councilmember Washington?
I think it's semantics. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I think it's semantics of, I know for me, I was appointed and then stood for election and, had a successful election, but I think that's a big piece, having the ceremonial swearing in and the family here. So I think we were just talking cross angles and semantics, but yeah. So again, if we did not make a decision tomorrow night and subsequently made a decision Monday night at council, we could swear in, have the person in place, but the following council meeting, the 25th, 26th, holiday, 26th, that would be the ceremonial swearing in, pictures with the family. Okay, thank you.
So we'll get to the executive session at the end there, but I would recommend that we do schedule it and notice it so that we can have it for that purpose, followed by potential action.
I just want to make sure. What did you just say?
No, for Monday, that at the very end, there's the heading executive session. There's nothing listed, but that we would notice one.
He says at the end of this, there's something called executive session.
Yeah.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And then followed by possible action or potential action.
You don't have to say possible action.
Okay.
It's a normal meeting.
Okay.
You only have to do that when you're calling a special meeting.
Perfect. All right, then.
You can act on any legal thing at a regular meeting.
All right. Sounds good. All right, then we're on to item number 2 of about 30. Let's try to pick up the pace here. We've got firefighter Bernie, who will be appointed, and we also have police chief. Mayor?
Yeah, just to be clear, that'll be a status update. There won't be an appointment that day.
Okay.
There'll be a status update on the appointment of police chief.
Okay. Thank you, Mayor. All right, then presentations. We've been trying to knock some of these off. So I would recommend that we pick maybe 1 or 2 since we've got quite a stacked agenda again. So of these, I know that waste management has been on for a little while. The PSE briefing on the battery energy storage system, I think does take kind of a high priority, in light of recent events.
Sure.
So, Mayor.
PSC will not be sending somebody for that. My understanding is they intend to issue a letter with a comprehensive,
Okay.
I don't know if the right word, response to concerns, that they're planning to issue that tomorrow, but they are not planning to come to our council meeting
So there's no presentation?
from PSC, correct? Not on BESS, correct, or on any topic for that date,
So that agenda item doesn't need to be there?
correct?
Okay.
Are,
Councilmember Washington.
are we thinking we just distribute the memorandum, but the letter? And I mean, remove the item?
Yeah, I mean, we would remove the item, I'd assume. Mayor,
Yeah.
Councilmember Hallway.
So why don't we down in F&A put acknowledgement of PSE letter on BES? And at least have
Okay.
discussion and copies for the audience.
Okay, I'm good with that.
And sorry, the last bit you said, I'm sorry, I tuned you out. I apologize. I was trying to make sure she caught what you said. Your wife called me and told me to tune you out. That's the. No, in all seriousness, I didn't hear the last bit.
Just acknowledgement PSE letter.
Yes.
Copies for the audience.
Okay.
In case people wanted
Yeah.
it. And just discussion if we wanted to have discussion.
Okay.
So
All right, Councilmember Washington?
in essence, we leave it under presentations?
No,
We-
no, put it under.
Okay.
I don't want this going out and giving people the impression that the PSE is coming for.
For presentation.
Yeah, absolutely.
They'll start sharpening things. No, leave the tools at home.
Right. Implements for taking notes. Okay, Chamber of Commerce 10-year plan and PSRC presentation on housing. If we were to take two, then I think we should do the waste management and pick from the other two. Councilmember Washington?
Yeah, I agree. Waste management has been in the queue for some time. From CD, I am partial to the PSRC presentation on housing.
Yeah.
Just again, culminating with what we're doing for zoning.
Yeah.
I think that could be, that's not gonna be, that is very important to, you know, our work that we're doing in CD.
Okay. Mayor?
Sorry, I was just trying to make sure I understood some things. What was the last item that you spoke of?
PSRC presentation on housing.
Right. So I have spoken to Josh Brown about that. I think that date's going to be very hard to make. He's agreed to do the presentation. This is a good 20-minute presentation. It is very likely that you will want to do Q&A on this. So you may want to allow 20 minutes for the presentation, understanding that it, depending on your Q&A, that may go even longer.
Yeah.
So you may want to push that out to your next meeting.
Okay.
Just because, so that you have enough time for that, and plus so that we have him lined up. He is currently in, doesn't matter where he is, he's on family vacation. So I think not ready to do it at this date.
Okay.
Then we would strike that one. Now, on this list, that does leave Chamber of Commerce 10-year plan. However, and I promise I'm not just trying to push them off. I thought that there was another presentation that had been requested by the hospital district related to the hub. And I think that one may predate the request from the chamber.
I don't know if it predates, but not available for that date. So
Okay.
we push that out. We're going to be
Then
asking that to be on your next council agenda.
Okay.
Process of
then
elimination.
If we can hit those two, then
Yep.
are those two still standing? Then?
Management Chamber of Commerce?
Yes. Okay. Great. We whittled it down. Councilmember Washington.
Just curious, Mayor, do you know how long the Chamber of Commerce 10-year plan presentation is?
That presentation will be exactly the length you allow it to be. So how long would you like that to be? If you would like it to be 2 hours, it'll be 2 hours. So how long would you like it to be?
I would probably think 15 minutes or less.
Okay, so we'll hold it, we'll say it needs to be 15 minutes. Look, I didn't mean for that to come off flip.
Yeah.
This is a very big thing they've done, and there's lots that they would be very happy to tell you about. So if you set the amount of time, they will calibrate to that based on what's most important.
I do wonder if perhaps they could do a follow-up meeting with community development committee,
CD,
perhaps. That perhaps could be a little bit longer and allow a little more Q&A with that committee. Councilmember Washington.
Yeah, so maybe a 15-minute presentation followed by, max it out at 15 minutes for Q&A.
I
Or
don't
do you
really
want
like,
to allow for Q&A?
Yeah, I would allow for Q&A, but I don't like putting a limit on the Q&A from council members.
Well, let's have the understanding that it
Yeah.
goes to CD.
Yeah, I think that's kind of where I'm going. I guess in my mind, it's kind of one or the other. We do the 15-minute presentation, and then we move forward, but we have the extended presentation in CD with an extended Q&A.
Q&A.
Okay,
So
I'm
that's
good with
kind of
that.
where my mind is going.
And also, real quick, Mayor, all of our committee meetings are noticed as a committee of the whole, so other council members can come to the various committee meetings. Mayor?
Yeah, I think I'm trying to sort of understand what the Q&A might, this is the chamber trying to inform the city. These are our big initiatives and our big areas of focus.
Mhm.
So I'm not sure that how much Q&A you would want to do. It's Q&A about what their plans are. I think what they're trying to do is share that with you so that as the city thinks about our plans, we're doing that in the context of knowing what the chamber is focused on. And then in the future, as things come up where we would want to know, where the council would want to know more about those things, probably dig in at at those points, as opposed to the idea that here's this one opportunity for you to ask. I think it's more letting you know what they're focused on, and then they will be more than happy to come back at your invitation at any point, committee, full council, to expand on anything you would like them to expand on.
Okay.
And they're happy for that to be more than one bite at the apple. They're really looking at how do they work with us over that whole 10 years towards things that we have common goals around.
All right, perfect. Thank you. Any other thoughts on that? All right, then that takes care of the presentations. We do have the 3 proclamations. Mayor, if you could just remind us of what the 3 proclamations are again.
National Emergency Services Week, National Police Week, and Affordable Housing Week.
Okay. Excellent. Next is public comments and requests for items not on the agenda. A reminder that council may allow for particular items that are on the agenda to be allowed during the public comment period, though that would require a motion at the meeting itself. Then we have the consent agenda. Oh, and also just following that, if council members want to reorder elements from the agenda, they may do so during the agenda approval. But we have our rules and procedures that line out how we first publish things. Hence why the order is the way it is as presented. All right, next thing is the consent agenda, where I believe that we added AB 26-013, the Microsoft Office renewal. And was there anything else that was added to consent agenda from other committees?
Can we go down to Parks Public Works? I thought we moved one up.
That'd be AB 26-012, award construction contract for BP lift station expansion project.
Yeah,
Okay, and that's on consent?
consent.
All right.
Did you catch that?
BP lift station project.
Yeah.
AB 26012.
That's right.
And that's on consent?
Yep.
Got it.
Councilmember Washington.
Yeah, it reminded me again, Mr. Mayor, the agenda bill, it's an ordinance from CD. We haven't gotten there, but I'm just trying to think about it. It's an ordinance, right, from CD.
On which topic?
I'm sorry,
Staffing.
CD development staffing.
Yes, that's an ordinance.
Okay, so it can't go in. Okay, thank you. Sorry to jump ahead.
Okay, so that reminds me then that after the consent agenda, we should take up ordinances. So I believe that that item
Move
then
it
should be
up.
under ordinances
Correct.
rather than under CD.
Correct.
gives
If
just a
it's-
second.
Correct? Yes,
It would be a 2 reading.
right.
Well, I mean, we could waive the second, but I'm just saying it, yeah.
Okay,
Excellent. Okay, next thing is committee reports. We're making progress. Public Safety Committee, we have the fireworks stands, the Issaquah Jail rate increase, ordinance on animal cruelty code, school zone enforcement update, covered load enforcement update, and the fire department first quarter accreditation report. Are these all discussion items? Are they presentations?
just give us a
Yes.
moment.
Okay, so these are gonna be ABs.
So under ordinances, yeah.
Is this,
No, those, 10, 11, and 12 were just presentations. Oh, but yes, the ordinance, it was not getting sent forward. I was gonna bring it in with the agenda. These are presentations.
yeah, this is just,
No.
these were discussion items during public safety. I don't know that they're, you can leave it to the chair whether he wants to talk to them or not, but I don't,
Who's it? Is,
there's gonna be an agenda bill on animal cruelty, which will come later. Fireworks stands, there's gonna be 2 like there was last year, a little discussion about that. Jail rate increase, it's a 3% increase. I think there's a, but there,
So, all right, let me go to Mayor first, and then I have my thought, but yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so there's 2 items that we expect hold on. Just a brief update. It's not a presentation, just a brief update on school zone enforcement and covered load enforcement. So there's just a brief update and then
I think the other ones are still in committee.
the fire department first quarter accreditation. That report will be in the packet,
mhm.
but there'll be no presentation on it. And our expectation is the committee chair is just going to mention that that is in the packet. And unless there's questions, there'd be no further discussion.
So 10, 11, and 12, the fireworks stands, the Issaquah jail rate increase, and the ordinance on animal cruelty code, those are still in committee and
Correct.
not ready for prime time.
Correct.
Okay, so we'll strike those 3.
Uh,
Come,
It's your meeting, not mine.
yeah, Councilmember Washington.
Yeah, so, following along with what the mayor, so fire department first quarter accreditation report, can we just, excuse me, can we have that as information only?
Yes,
Yeah.
that's the intent.
Okay, okay.
Good
Okay.
information.
Yeah. Okay, then we have a brief update, probably from the chair, it sounds like, on the school zone enforcement and the covered load enforcement.
I
Just still in
think that may
committee.
be the police chief.
Okay,
but
police
it'll
chief would do
be
that. Okay.
Very brief.
All right,
On a committee?
Hold on.
yes.
Is that not your recollection?
No, I was looking. at
Okay, okay,
That,
yeah.
that face was something else.
Okay.
Okay,
Yes.
excellent. Glad we straightened that out. Okay, next thing is Community Development Committee, where there are no items for discussion because we moved up AB 26 dash whatever.
That is
Adapting to the ordinances.
That is correct.
Okay, next is Parks and Public. Yes, Mayor.
Okay, go ahead.
Great. Next is Parks and Public Works Committee. We have AV 26-012, which was also moved up to consent. Right?
Yep.
Yep, okay, good. Then we have the tree replacement program update. And is that going to be from staff?
I do not remember that one discussed in committee.
It's from before, but I
Okay.
don't know why it's here. It would be in presentations.
Right.
And it can wait,
Okay,
but we should be, So it's just in the queue waiting for that presentation to come to council. This is this is one of the renewal programs. So you've already authorized it in the budget. But this is just giving you just once a year, kind of, here's where we're at with this, here's what's going to happen this year. Just kind of orient you to what's going on. So you know, oh, you're doing those streets and not those, and roughly that's why, you know, X is the reason why. So it's, but there's no urgency. We're not asking for any action. It's just information.
I wonder if we could put that in the queue up under presentations on future iterations.
Yeah, so let me just capture.
Drafts.
The training.
Yeah, so that should be. Well. 20.
We'll get through this meeting.
Go ahead.
All right, next up,
So
yes,
we-
Mayor.
All these things are getting pushed out, just the administrative to make all that happen, and then we're moving them between sections. This is just, and then you guys talk pretty fast, so that's why I'm trying to slow you down. We're trying to catch this so we don't have these things
Yeah.
sort of scooting around on us, like we're herding cats a little bit. We're trying to make sure so that's the only reason I keep slowing you down, is so we try and get it.
I got it. Thank you, Mayor. And thank you, staff, for your hard work. Councilmember Washington.
Sorry. Last F&A, sorry, to go back to the community development, the ordinance for CD development staffing. Last time I got yelled at. So we have the agenda bill 26-XX. Are we going to make sure that we have the full number, the full agenda bill number in there?
Mayor.
So understand that we have to send this to you last week.
Mhm.
So when we send this out, we just put everything that's there. And when we prepare this, the agenda bill hasn't been assigned yet.
Mm.
So this is just what you were given before the agenda bill was ever assigned. So yes, when we move this forward now, based on what you direct tonight, we go make sure all the agenda bills are in there. Agenda bill numbers, rather.
Okay.
And so the reason you don't see it here is just the timing of when this document was created. It was before any of those committee meetings happened.
All right, thank you. Councilmember Holloway, I think you had something.
All right, Parks and Public Works. Is there, the agenda bill moves out to consent, the remaining, is there intent to have presentation or just discussion on any of those items next council meeting?
Mayor.
Every one of those items is a presentation item that we're just continually pushing off.
For right now, we can strike them off.
Well, let me use the right words, because that creates confusion, then they disappear. So the correct words are, let's carry those forward. All of those should be in the presentation section on the 26th.
Right.
And then they'll get to see all of those and decide at that point which of those they move forward and which they continue to push out.
Okay.
Can we have discussion also in Parks and Public Works about the committee's opinion about which one?
You can, the request from the administration is that you give those presentations to the full council.
Oh, understood. I'm not arguing with that. I just-
Okay,
Priorities.
all right, so let me just capture that. So what we want to do is for each committee, report back to
Where
them
was there?
which of their items have
You
been.
yelled at me
parked,
last time about the XX.
Right, by F&A, so that they're aware what's going on.
I'm just
things
saying,
they've sent
you
through.
did.
No, let's.
Oh, I
no,
agree. I don't
no,
like XX.
Let's let's tell them, just so you know, here's 5 items that you previously sent through that actually are still in the parking lot.
Okay, you got it.
Does that make sense?
Mhm.
And we do that for each committee so they all know where the things, because once they send it through, they think it happened. So this is letting them know, well, here's the things that didn't happen yet.
Yep.
Is that cool?
Yep.
All right, but then we'll call it, yeah. Don't you say anything else? You got it?
I got it.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Next thing is F&A,
Mhm.
where we moved up AB 26-013, the Microsoft Office renewal, to consent. We do have a flood event update that is going to be informational and maybe a very short blurb
Mhm.
about that documents were submitted on time.
Do
Um,
do we
Councilmember
want to,
Washington.
do we want to make it informational or do we want to go to the presentation?
Yeah, just informational, I think.
Yeah, okay, I agree with that.
And then next,
Sorry,
yes,
which one was it?
that is the flood event update.
So just just the info in the
Yeah.
packet, but no discussion on it.
That's right.
It'll still be listed because the chair may make reference to the fact that it exists,
Okay,
Exactly.
Yeah.
got it,
but there'll be no staff presentation on it.
got it. Thank you.
Okay, next thing is the council retreat discussion, which I think that we have a date, time, and we have an agenda. I don't think there's any need for discussion there.
I agree.
Okay, so take 25 off. You with me?
So we're,
Okay.
sorry,
Yes.
scratching it. We're,
Yeah.
remove the item. Okay, perfect.
Next is a discussion of potential land use in Councilmember Holloway.
So in substitute 25, the acknowledgement of the PSE letter.
Oh,
Oh, yeah, thanks for the
Right,
reminding.
hold on.
Yes,
let us catch that. Hold on.
yes, I think that's the right
No,
order
very
to do
good.
it.
Very
Yeah, let's have the letter first and then discuss.
Good catch, Councilman Holloway.
Nope, you haven't asked me. This is the PSE letter.
Yeah.
PSE letter.
You
and-
said you
Yeah.
earlier wanted that to be, let's see, move the briefing to Finance and Administration
Yeah.
Committee.
Yep.
So I can move it down.
Move it as, yeah, move it as.
Yeah. And then the next item would be the discussion of the potential land use and
Yeah.
yeah,
Let's do that. Have that letter first as backdrop to that discussion.
yep.
Got it.
Okay, excellent. Almost there. Next is for the committee of the whole, the discussion of council rules and procedures regarding video streaming of comments not on the agenda. We practically did that conversation last time, but
Wouldn't we want to have that as an FNA discussion and come forward with a recommendation before you take it to whole council?
the request from council last time, I can't remember if we took a vote on it, but the request from the council seemed to be around having this as a whole council discussion.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rather than going from FNA first.
Was there, sorry,
Councilmember Washington.
was there a motion for that or
Like
was
I
it?
said, I do not recall if there was a motion and a vote on whether or not to do that, but that was the consensus that I had gathered at a minimum from the council, Councilmember Washington.
Yeah, I, just because of the history of this item, I am in favor of taking it to FNA, beating it up, looking at it, coming up with a couple of recommendations, and then having the broader discussion at council. Because I think there's a lot of background that comes with this.
I'd want pros, cons, bullet points to say, if you want to if you want to video record,
Mhm.
open public comment.
Right.
Here are the pros to doing that, here are
yeah.
the cons to doing
Right.
that, and then present that to council for discussion. If you just go in there with a question mark, we'll be all night.
Yeah.
I understand that. I thought that the consensus of the council was to do it this way. I would be curious to go back and check and see if there was a specific motion and a vote to have it on our next council agenda. So that might be a little bit of homework to double check if that occurred or not.
There was not a motion to add it to the next agenda and then a vote to add it to, you didn't do that, but there was a discussion. I don't remember exactly, but that thing that you just asked didn't happen.
Okay. Councilmember Washington?
Yeah, and so I'm understanding Councilmember Holloway when he says pros and cons, legal risk is kind of the way I'm understanding that. And yeah, that's something I definitely want to get my head around and why we made the decision to discontinue it. What were the legal risks? What are the legal risks to open that back up? And I think, yeah, to Councilmember Holloway's point, there should definitely be some guidance in the conversation.
Okay. We typically don't vote in committees, so rather there seems to be a consensus of a majority of the committee that's in favor of taking this to FNA rather than straight to council. If I'm reading the room correctly, then I would recommend that we strike this item from the committee of the whole, and that this would come back to FNA and then bring it to council in the future.
Yeah,
You may
right.
want to make comment as part of FNA that we're going to take a look at it and bring back recommendation pros, cons,
Okay,
just so they don't feel,
Slide
where's
it.
my thing?
Yeah,
right.
yeah, slide it, yeah.
Okay,
But I agree with your overall premise, yes.
all right. Any thoughts from administration on that process?
Yes.
That you want to share? You
Oh.
said that.
Alright.
I think,
Yes, Mayor.
I am about 5 steps ahead, thinking how your council meeting may play out, which I have to chair. And it seems to me likely that at some point you will encounter a motion in this topic. And if your intent is to take it to F&A committee for further study, you may wish to then refer that matter, rather than take a vote, refer that matter to committee. But I think it's likely that you will face a motion on this topic at your council meeting. It's hard for me to imagine that not happening at a point where it would be in order.
Okay. Excuse me. And if that occurs, then council members may add items to the agenda. And if that happens, then it will be so.
All right, so you'd like to take the item off the agenda for now, and then and would you like us to add it to your next F&A committee meeting?
Yes.
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 All right, so let me take those 2 to-dos, make sure we capture them. Got both.
Yep.
So
Remove and move to F&A.
Right, and then let me just get assigned to. Assigned to book, because a pro and con needs to be prepared. That they requested a pro and con, and we'll make sure someone's responsible for putting that together. So we'll send it to her initially, and then we'll see where it goes from there. Okay, got it.
Councilmember Washington.
So will you make mention of this at the council meeting, that this has been referred back to council to look at, to assess legal risk? Or are we
What's
just,
just pros and cons? I'm sorry. Yeah, I'll let you finish. Sorry about that.
so just from informational purposes, or are we just completely leaving it off the agenda for the council meeting?
I think that one way to address some of Mayor's concerns, not fully, as well as the other committee members, could be that we do leave it under F&A, but not as a discussion item, but as informational, such that the chair of F&A can share that this is the intent of F&A.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Okay.
So it's going back on then?
Yeah.
But
But not as discussion, but as information.
informational only.
Yeah. Mayor.
Just as a general comment, apropos of nothing in particular, if a council member asks for legal wording around a motion, we do provide that wording to them.
Okay.
There's something else I was going to say about that, but it's gone. So any other thoughts on this item?
Just to,
Yeah.
you're moving this as an informational item only. So you're going to just talk about it and let them know that you're planning on moving it to the next Finance and Administration Committee.
Correct. I believe that that is the will of this committee. Okay. Then next is reports. We have the mayor's report. Yes, it'd be under F&A, not under committee of the whole.
Okay, okay, so remove it from Committee of the Whole.
Right.
And move it up to F&A.
Yes.
You got it, thank you.
Thank you.
Information.
No, just say, just have it. Have it sit. We can work it out.
Okay. Next item is the mayor's reports, followed by commission and committee liaison reports and department reports. That's mostly a mayor's department. Anything to add or suggest about that?
Yeah, I'd rather not spend an hour preparing a report that I'm never going to give because you won't have time.
If the mayor is suggesting striking the mayor's report.
I'm happy to take questions, of course, always, but rather than prepare and go through a report, I think, I mean, if you ask me to, I will.
Okay.
That may not be a paper presentation, just if you want to advise or inform the council of anything, that's your opportunity to do.
Yes, but if you ask me to give a report, I'll give you a fulsome report of all the things it just takes a while to prepare that. And
If you don't want to call it a report, you still want to preserve the opportunity to form council of things. What do you want to call
there won't be any things.
it?
All right.
But
Then-
I just want to be clear.
Yeah.
I, of course, will always take questions.
Right.
I just don't have anything that I think is critical for me to present to you. So I'm more just whatever you guys would like to ask questions at the time. Happy to do that.
Okay, then why don't we strike the item?
Sure.
Okay.
If there's nothing to
Yep.
specifically report, then yeah, we don't.
Okay, then we have commission and community liaison reports and department reports, which is usually just informational. It's a little packet. There.
Just, this is the F&A committee, so I have under the section commission committee liaison reports, council members have often just spoken about anything they feel like speaking about. And I have not intervened to cut them off, feeling that if you guys wanted to, you would, and then I would of course rule that it was out of order, but whatever was happening, but I've just elected not to intervene in that. So just so you know, I know that they're not talking about liaison reports. I'm just not doing anything about it unless one of you makes a motion. And the motion would be point of order. This isn't on the agenda. So as long as none of you are doing that, I just, as your chair, I don't intervene.
Okay.
So I'm just telling you that so that if that's not what you want me to do, that you would, it's your meeting, so you would tell me, but that's how I'm handling that.
Well, I do appreciate you bringing that up, because if that were our practice, then it could potentially become sort of an open mic night of, well, I just want to talk about this thing. And that I think I would be opposed to.
Well, that is what's been happening.
So I think that it
We've
would.
been having that as open mic night.
Yeah, so I think that, yeah, that kind of, that's concerning in terms of we didn't notice what that discussion would be. So I think that it should be restricted to the committees and the specific liaisons that are actual appointments. I don't think that that the intent here has been for council members to say, well, I went to the bridge club the other day and, you know,
But that is what's been
think-
happening. So I will, if you guys want to, keep that to the topics, then if you raise a point of order, I will rule on that point of order, but
Okay.
it's really for you to kind of self-police, I think, on that.
okay, I'm good with that.
I'm getting grumpy, always a point of order.
Yeah, which it will be because the next thing is our executive session that may occur to discuss the appointment to the vacant position, followed by potential action, though we do not need to notice that there may be potential action. And then adjournment. Anything else from committee? Mayor.
Yeah.
Yeah, so just sequencing,
Mhm.
we'll put the executive session, and then we'll put another item on the agenda after the executive session. Discussion of open council seat.
Yeah.
And then you may not have much to discuss, but there will be an agenda item. So that if you wish to do something, there's an agenda item there for you to then discuss or whatever it is that you want to do.
Excellent.
Okay.
Okay. Nothing else there?
Nope,
Over there?
nothing
Okay.
from me.
Then that is the end of our discussion of the council meeting for May 11th, 2026, and that is the end of our F&A agenda. It is 8:02 p.m. on May 5th, and without objection, we are adjourned.